We have a couple more speakers, folks. The unionized workers in this city, they're really on the front line right now. We got a couple of more city workers here to talk to you about and tell you their truth. And our first speaker to tell you the truth is standing over there looking at me on a telephone over there. So Joe speaks the truth. Come on up. It's a teacher's assistant in New York City schools and dedicated freedom fighter here in the vaccine rights world.
To speak in Spanish. Necesito que este mensaje llegue a la comunidad latina, en especial a la gente de la República Dominicana. Lamentablemente, la comunidad latina es una de las comunidades que está más dormida. Apaguen a Telemundo, apaguen a Univisión. Usen el cerebro que Dios les dio y el sentido común. Lean su Biblia. No podemos seguir así. No podemos seguir vendiendo a las futuras generaciones que van a crecer amando la esclavitud en cambio por la libertad. Lo que estamos haciendo con nuestros niños, Dios no nos va a perdonar jamás. Jamás. Necesito que la gente entienda que lo que está pasando en los Estados Unidos, que lo que está pasando en el mundo, nada tiene que ver con salud pública. Lo que ellos están haciendo es imponiendo comunismo global. Necesito que lo entiendas porque el pueblo cubano lo entiende. El pueblo cubano lo entiende. Pero en República Dominicana, en Puerto Rico, en Venezuela, necesito que la gente entienda lo que está pasando. Si perdemos nuestras libertades, jamás nos las van a regresar. Porque yo nunca en la historia he visto que un esclavo hace negocio con su amo. Los esclavos pelearon por sus libertades y eso es lo que nosotros tenemos que hacer ahora mismo. No podemos seguir durmiendo mirando nuestros medios de comunicaciones que han sido comprados por políticos corruptos. Los pasaportes digital, ese sistema que han impuesto en China de seguro social, necesito que la gente entienda que eso de crédito social es para monitorear cada paso que usted dé y en caso de que usted no quiera seguir lo que le diga el gobierno y no se quiera seguir poniendo estas vacunas, a usted lo van a cortar de la sociedad y no lo van a dejar de comprar comida. Usted va a ser un esclavo, pero un esclavo moderno, sin tener without change. You're going to But if I can reach out to all the Latinos to please say no to these vaccine mandates. This is a way to communism, and the Cuban community, they understand. People in Venezuela, they understand. But my people in the Dominican Republic have absolutely no idea what's going on. The president is currently trying to make it mandatory. So that means that I won't be able to see my family in the Dominican Republic. I have nieces and nephews. And just, I can't take this anymore. This is very touching to me. I also work in the school system. I went to work today. I saw teachers asking students if they were vaccinated. These children were complaining about the mask. They said that they were hot and they wanted to put it down. And these teachers, instead of telling them it's okay, you can put down your mask, they asked, are you vaccinated? So because they were not vaccinated, they were not allowed to take down their mask and free their own faces. Not only that, parents that are not vaccinated are no longer allowed on their tax dollars to enter a Department of Education building. This is what's going on in America, the land of the free and the home of the brave that has now become the land of the sheep and the home of the afraid. I have decided that I'm going to wait for them to fire me on the 27th as a teacher assistant. Consenting, and I cannot be assisting on a genocide that is targeting children, the most vulnerable population. I cannot sit in a classroom with children whose faces I cannot even see, and my face that I cannot even see. Children that are being taught to be scared of their brothers and sisters, their fathers and their mothers, seeing their faces as bioweapons. What are we going to tell children 10 to 15 years down the line? What were we doing to fight for their freedom? What were we doing? As a parent, I'm not a mother. I have my nieces that I say that I'm in the Dominican Republic. And I'm fighting for them because if this goes through, I won't be able to see them anymore. This is not the way God intended us to live. This is beyond demonic and satanic, and I'm going to call it out for what it is. This is not of God. This is not of God. This is a dehumanizing agenda. It is disgusting, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop. I am willing, and I told my mom in 2020, I had a long conversation with her, warning her of what was going to come. And I said to her, I am willing to die. This is the hill that I'm willing to die on. I refuse to be a slave. I refuse to be a slave. People die so that I, as a woman of African descent, could be able to stand up here. And I refuse to go down without a fight. Disgusting is that on my first day of work, I was told that I was on the list of 62 staff members at my school that was not vaccinated. You cannot get more Nazi Germany than this bullcrap. You cannot get more Nazi Germany than this bullcrap. When this was announced, my co-workers were looking around to see who are these 62 people. Yeah, I'm deceased. I'm no longer human. I'm disposable after being commanded for doing such a good job working with children that had issues at home. And as someone that works in the school system, I'm going to reveal to you the truth of what happened during the lockdowns. That Dr. Fauci, that self-appointed Bill Gates, and this fake mainstream media are These people that work in the Department of Education, the Chancellor Misha Porter, and all these higher ups, I was kicked out of a city council meeting and I was not allowed to speak because I wanted to expose the truth. And I'm going to tell you what happened. During the lockdown, children were suicidal. There was an exposed spreadsheet of all the children that needed to speak to a social worker. During the lockdowns, ACS calls went up because child abuse went up. During the lockdowns, there were children that were dependent on the school food to eat. Now my school, and I'm grateful for my co-workers, went personally to so many students' homes to give them food. There were some of our students that were in shelter. Not one expert from the board and pay for mainstream media has spoken about the irreversible damage that we have done to one whole generation. We have destroyed a whole generation of children. Destroyed them psychologically, emotionally, and socially. Their children that seriously believe that seeing a smile on someone else's face is a threat. How in the world can we reverse this? There's children that are being told at school not to even hold hands because of germs. Have we lost our God-given mind? Have we lost our mind? Listen, if none of you are willing to fight for yourself, then we must go to war for our children. We must go to war for our children. Like I said, I'm willing to lose it all. I'm willing, I mean, I'm not going to have much to survive pretty soon. But I'll find a way. I'll find a way. Because guess what? I'd rather be a homeless, a bum on the street, than to be assisted in a genocide against children. So my co-workers and my bosses here, guess what? I don't care. Because God will judge me and God will judge you too. If people are not willing to lose their career, their money, their homes, then what are we going to do really? You're supposed to stand up for what is right, for what is morally correct. Because if we as a society, right, we have to look back at all the genocide that we have had in history. It was always the good citizens that were assisting. Always the good citizens. They will never be able to do slavery, the Holocaust, without the assistance of the so-called good citizens that saw evil things happening and did nothing about it. Did nothing about it. Me? I was already reported already. I told the children math don't work. I told the children about the social score credit system. I don't care if I lose my job because guess what? I'd rather feed the mind of the children than enslave them with fake indoctrination and take your children, take them out of the school system. Without your money, they can do nothing about it. Every child in the school system is worth about $27,000. That's right. On your tax dollars, they're telling you that if you're not vaccinated, you can't even go and get your own child. Who wants your child? Who wants your child? The state or you? Who's going to own your child? You or the state? Seriously, you guys got to stand up. I cannot do this alone. I cannot do this alone. Take your children out of the schools. Take them out. Take them out. Take them out. Take them out. Okay? New York. I'm gonna say this chant. Save New York! 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 And next up, I'm done, by the way. My name is Joe.